Hey guys, this is the new Blackberry Z10. This is a Verizon wireless phone, so it's 4G LTE compatible. I just want to show you some of the new features that are on the Blackberry, but first I will show you a look at the outside of the phone. You can see kind of looks a little bit like some of the older Verizon Droid phones, like the Droid X, the metal top and bottom. This is a 4.3-inch screen. A little bit bigger than the iPhone screen, a little bigger than some of the older Android phones as well. Really nice display on this phone. I'll show you a little more about that in a minute. The back of the phone has like a soft touch rubberized coating. You can kind of see it there. Makes it kind of tacky, feels nice in the hand. On the back you also have the camera and the flash that's right there. Nothing on the bottom of the phone. Just a little lip to take the battery cover off. I'll show you underneath that in a minute also. On top you have your headphone jack and power button. And on the side we have volume up, volume down. This is the mute button, and also it activates the voice control feature. So I've been using this phone for about a week now as my primary device. I think it's the only real way to give something a fair shot. And it's pretty good actually. It's not bad. Battery life could be a little better. I'll show you the battery under here. The back just pops off just like that, and you have your 4G SIM card. This is the LTE device, SD card slot right here, and this is the battery. The battery does pull out, which if you've ever been a Blackberry user in the past, something you've had to do kind of often is pull the battery just to make the phone work properly. Not as much of an issue on this device, although I have had it restart on me once or twice, and I think I had to pull the battery out one time. On the back, you can see the metal dots right there. This phone, I believe, is NFC capable, and I guess inductive charging as well. Let me put that back on. Alright, so let's power this up. And as you can see, this is your screen when you first turn it on. It's the lock screen. On the bottom you can touch the camera to kick right into the camera mode. Shows you your emails, Facebook messages, voicemails, any other notifications you'd have to, text messages would show up there. Notifications like Yahoo Messenger, stuff like that would all be there. And then your time, date, if there's any calendar events coming up today or tomorrow would show on there as well. With this new phone, there's no buttons on the home screen. This is the Blackberry 10 operating system. So also on the playbook right now, and it's coming out with the Q10-2. So if you put your finger down on where the Blackberry logo is down here, I don't know if you can see it. It's down on the bottom underneath the LCD screen. If you put your finger underneath it and you slide up, you start to be able to, it's almost like a curtain effect. You can kind of peek at what's underneath. You can see some open apps under there. So if we slide that all the way up, this brings you into the phone. This screen right here shows you what apps you have open. I have my recent calls and my Facebook. So it gives you a live view of where you left off in your Facebook or whatever other apps are open. We'll open up a new one and show you. So one of the things that let me use the new Blackberry was that WhatsApp is now available, even though the Verizon version hasn't gotten the latest Blackberry update. So if I pull up my WhatsApp, opens it up, you can go into your chats, and there's one of the last ones we're in. Now, if I wanted to get out of this, I would just put my finger back down here in the bottom, and I would flick up, and you can see it adds it into my Open Applications page. And it also gives you a live view. If you saw, that just switched to the last thing that was written in the thread that I was in. So again, you could pull back into your recent calls or my Facebook. It would open up, and then I would close it again, kind of like so. Touch it, and then close it just by flicking up. So pretty nice actually. I find this operating system really smooth and easy to use. There are some times where I get a little confused with it just because it's so new, I think, but pretty easy. So if I scroll this way, it gives you an apps view, kind of like an iPhone would, just in a list or in an icon order, nice and laid out on the page. All your different icons are here. Most of these come with the phone. Blackberry Maps, something that I was kind of concerned about. Wasn't too sure if it would be good or not. I'm used to using Google Maps. It really wasn't too bad. Did the job. I'm driving around the New York metro area, and it got me around with basically no issue. And you can go through some of these apps. Most of these I was able to download. It's missing a lot of apps. I mean, if you're used to using an iPad or an iPod or an Android phone, you're going to be missing some apps, but most of the core like work functionality apps are there. Box.com, Dropbox, the stuff that you really need is there. So I was able to get by. I still carry my iPad around me every day, but using it for a week, it wasn't bad. I was okay. So if you scroll back to the left, it brings you over to the open apps again. Now, one of the new features that is pretty good about this phone is if you scroll to the left again, it brings you into the last messaging you were in. This is text messaging. If I scroll over again, it shows me all my text messages. And one more time brings me into the hub. The hub has everything. All your BBM text messages, all your email accounts, Facebooks, Yahoo Messengers, calls, voicemails, everything. So from here you can kind of pick whatever you want, and the hub will just show you it all. So here's just a centralized view of everything. And here's where I get a little bit confused, in that everywhere else in this phone you close, and I'm starting to get the hang of it now, but everywhere else in this phone you get out of the application you're in, or you get out of what you're in by sliding up on the Blackberry. In this area, you don't. You move left and right, but it would still bring you back here to your Open Apps page. So let's take a look at one of the main things that Blackberry users have always loved, and we'll call it the keyboard, even though it's not a real keyboard like you're used to. It's a virtual keyboard, and it's pretty good on this phone. So here's your keyboard. They kind of mimic the Blackberry Bold or the new Q10 style with the frets in between the letters. Pretty nice. Now, one of the really cool features about this phone, and I'll give you an idea, if I start to type the word the, you see I hit the letter T, and then right above the H, the word the appears. So I'm typing, and I feel like I hit T, and the is the word I want to do. What I'll do is put my finger on the H, and I'll slide up, and I missed. It does work actually pretty well when you're typing, but I'm looking at this through my iPad camera, so bear with me. So when I hit I slide up, it picks the word. So let's say I want to put the rope. Let's see if we can figure it out. So there's rope. Now, it wouldn't really help me to hit it there, but I can just slide up again. It pulls up like that. It does get pretty good at guessing what you're going to write. Other than that, even if you're just typing with the keyboard, it's spaced out really nice. It works pretty well. And the screen's very good. I'm not sure exactly what the pixels per inch are on it, but it's pretty good. Very crisp. The letters and text are all clear. Haven't had any issues with that at all. One more thing I'll show you is the camera. I really wasn't too thrilled with the camera. Honestly, I thought it could be better. Some of the pictures just didn't come out that great. To take a picture, you just kind of touch where you want to take it. It's okay. It works well enough. I've seen definitely better phone cameras and worse phone cameras. As far as the speed of the phone, everything seems to be working pretty well. The only issue I've had with this is sometimes when you hit the call button, which brings you into your recent calls or missed calls, sometimes it's slow switching from all to missed calls. Like when I go from missed to try to get into my all calls. See, like right now, I'm waiting for it to go to the all calls, and that's kind of a pain in the butt when you're trying to make a phone call quick or you have something going on. It can be even longer than that, where you're switching from the missed calls to the all calls so you can get to a recent call. Sometimes it has trouble getting through the contact list fast. That's a little strange too, especially since this phone has a fast processor. I believe it has 2 gigs of RAM also. It should be pretty fast. And one other pretty big issue, and I don't know if it was just with this phone, so read some reviews, don't just take my word on it. I haven't heard it from many people, but not many people have this phone yet. I had a lot of dropped calls, which is very rare for Verizon Wireless, if you know that. I mean, I've dropped calls in places where I didn't drop calls with other phones. Times when I had service where I just couldn't make a phone call. I tried to call a bunch of times, it wouldn't work, and I had to pull the battery out. Didn't happen a lot, but it happened a few times. So take it with a grain of salt, read some reviews, and I hope I helped you out a little bit. Good luck if you decide to go with the Blackberry Z10. I don't think it would be terrible, and I think that it'll get a lot more apps throughout the next 2 years, and you'd probably end up loving it. It probably wouldn't be that bad. So that, or wait for the Q10 so you can get yourself a real keyboard. I'm definitely going to try that one out as well. I'm pretty hopeful for the device as I do miss the keyboard. Alright everybody, have a good day. Thanks. Bye.